Hey guys, welcome to another episode of OFA Shop. This week we're back on the toy waste. Alright, so last episode on the toy waste, I left you with the brakes not fitting. So that's the holes I did drill. That's apparently the holes I should have drilled. So I'm going to drill these out and then bolt it all back up, make sure it all fits, and then I will remake that. And then I have to remake these in 6mm instead of 5mm, and then we should be somewhere useful. Alright, so I got it all back together. It all fits now. This spins nice and freely. And then when the caliper slides, it does not hit down there. It hits the disc first, which is what you want, because there's obviously there'll be a pad in there. So if the pad's non-existent, it still doesn't bottom out, so that's pretty good. The only problem I've got now is this is further away than I would like. Now you're probably thinking that's like 3mm, which it is, but because this caliper doesn't sit all the way on anyway, you're going to lose a bit of brake pad as it is, so I don't want to lose another 3mm. So I'm going to re-drill these brake caliper mounts again. I need to make them again anyway. I'm just going to try and take 3mm out of them and just hope for the best. So I'll make one and hopefully it's all good and we'll go from there. Alright, so I've got the bracket off here. So what I need to do now is re-drill this obviously, but I also want to move these two holes here over just a smidge. So I'm going to try and re-drill this into this plate here. Again, cut it to size, and then we'll use the other 5mm, which is not the right size. The other one of these, and then bolt it all together. And if that works, I'll make some pretty ones and make those in 6mm. I'm glad I've had all this practice. I'm actually getting good at this now. Wow, look, it's exactly the same, just 2mm different. Hopefully this one works. So I'll just cut it out and then chuck it on. Hopefully we're in the ballpark. Alright, 57th time lucky. Probably could have gone a little bit less conservative here. It is a little bit closer, but not very much. As for everything else, it all clears pretty good. Still need to do the 6mm spacer instead of the 5mm spacer, of course. Get this a little bit more centered. But then on the back here, does not hit. It hits on the rotor, which is what you want. And obviously the rotor clears as well. So let's make another one of them, and then some 6mm spacers, and then call it a day, because I'm sick of these brakes. Alright, it's much quicker in YouTube land to make this stuff happen. It took probably 2 or 3 hours really. But I have 2 lots of mounts. So this one obviously you just put the spacer on the other side. Everything else is the same. This one's all bolted up. Crappy bolts. We'll be getting new ones, so don't stress about that. You can see we've got the 12mm spacer here, 6mm in there, which centers this in there. We've got a little bit of space, and in there we've got a bit more space. So it's probably centered a little bit off center, but it's pretty good. And then again, when you push the caliper back, it hits the disc first. So now, the real challenge, does the wheel still fit? Alright, the good news is it fits, but it doesn't spin because everything is touching. So I need a very, very, very small spacer, which I'm kind of against, but I've got a lot of thread there, so it should be fine. Again, a different wheel choice probably wouldn't be a bad idea. These are only a 16, so it's not too bad if I want to try and get some other wheels. And again, the split rims probably aren't the best idea either. So if I can get these tyres mounted onto different rims, I'll probably try that first and then a spacer. But I don't have any other rims at the moment, so we'll roll with this. Alright, I just had a look in the wheel stash. The only wheels I have that are 6-star that might fit are on the Hi-Ace. I'm not taking them off. I don't really want to buy new wheels, so some little slip-on spacers might be the only go, which I'm not super happy with, but if it gets me the clearance I need and doesn't cost me a set of wheels, then it's probably not a bad idea. A little bit annoying, but a different set of wheels probably would fix the problem, but I'm not spending that. So I'll get some spacers and we'll call it a day. Alright, so I've gone down the rabbit hole of getting the spacer route. 10mm spacer, it still hits. So I need different wheels, because I'm not running any more than 10. I didn't want to run 10 in the first place. I need different wheels, so that's really annoying. I'm going to try the Hi-Ace ones on at some point. Try and get the 6-stud on here and see how that clears. The thing is with this, it'll probably never actually hit, because once you put the pads in, this will center and then it's not going to move very much at all. And once you get a little bit of wear in your pads, it's not going to hit. But you got to imagine if someone put brand new pads in this thing and for some reason put the wheels on and it didn't work, that's not good enough. So I'm going to need different wheels, which is a bit annoying because I really like these. So hopefully I can get these tyres to work on a different rim. The Hiace has 15s, not 16s, so I can't even try those on the truck. I need to buy some new rims. Alright, it's been a long day doing other stuff, but I've got a wheel, or a set of wheels. Let's see if they fit. Alright, I'm really not sure how this is possible. It's worse, somehow. The brake caliper is hitting the front of the wheel like really badly. I don't understand how it's worse than the other wheels. What? Alright, I am unsure how this is hitting still, but call that center of the hub to the outside of the brakes. We'll call that 18. So double that is 36. So if we go in here, oh, it's because it steps in so much. See how this steps in so far here? Maybe right where it's hitting, I imagine. 30. So that lip right where it is there on that back of that face is 36. And you can see that's right where the brake's hitting. Almost 39. But then if you go from the inside of those lips, which is getting difficult, it's 36 minus 2, so about 34. So we're hitting on this lip here. So we're hitting on this lip here, which is about 34 from side to side. And on this one we're hitting on this lip here, which is about 36, and we need about 36. I think I need to do a bolt-on spacer, which I'm really not for that idea at all. So I'm going to have to do something. Or if I get 17s, then would be sweet, which is obviously the obvious answer here, but then I can't get these wheels, these tyres on a 17. So just looking at this again, this rim here doesn't have the bead, not the regular bead. So the back is obviously a fixed bead. There's nothing all the way to the front because it's a split rim. Whereas this one has the little indent thing, which is where the tyre slips on. So split rim 16 is a little bit bigger on the inside than a not split rim 16. So I think a 17 would fix this problem, but I'm really not sure. Alright, it's a new day. I got up nice and early, spent like 6 hours editing, and now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I can't be bothered to even put my boots on. So I'm going to grease the bearings, put everything together, final assembly. I've got the rest of the bolts I needed for the brake mounts. They have been painted. So everything's ready to go back together. Just need to grease everything up and put it all together properly for the last time. I'm ignoring the fact that the wheels don't fit. Thank you very much to Dwayne, one of my mates. He gave me a set of these. I think they're Colorado Steelies. Thanks heaps for those. They don't fit. It's not your fault, that's my fault. But the gesture was there and that's really nice. So I'm probably going to have to run a bolt-on spacer, which is really annoying. Don't really want to do that. But the other thought is if I get a 16x60 offset rim, it'll probably fit. But then you're still sort of that 30mm different from this guy offset wise, which is going to put heaps of stress on the bearings. And they're already massive tyres, so it's probably going to be a lot of stress. And then a new set of rims is actually more expensive than buying bolt-on spacers. And then if I put bolt-on spacers on, I'm probably going to have to cut the brand new studs back a little bit. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, let's get into greasing some things up. Another thing I should mention before I get into this is this original spacer seal guy. So it has this taper on it here, and that actually goes towards the stub axle, and then this side is where the hub is. So these new style seals will not work because they haven't got the taper on them. So I'm going to have to take these back. That's fine. So I'm going to run with these, which is fine. These worked for 50 years. Doesn't mean I have to run this dust cup as well though. So I'll have to run both of those and take the new style back. But that's just a little tip for whoever ends up with this thing. So I've got all the hub and everything disassembled, and now I'm just going to chuck some grease in the bearings and then put this side back together for hopefully the last time, and then I will move the ute across and then do the other side. Alright, so I got both hubs on, got both of the brakes on, everything clears nicely, everything works as it should, except for the wheels obviously. On that note, I've measured these studs, they are 30mm long, or just short of. So if I get 30mm bolt-on spacers, they will fit, and the wheels still sit in the guards, and it actually doesn't look half bad, but I don't want to admit that. And then the back needs a spacer anyway. And I was talking to Tim on the phone about it, and we figured that if we make it a little bit wider, it's going to be less prone to falling over. So it's probably not the end of the world. The bearings may get chewed out again, but that's the price to pay for being cool, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to have to order some 30mm spacers, maybe some bigger ones for the back. No, just 30mm. 30mm all around. That'll sort the problem out. I don't like it, but that's where we are at. So I'll order some spacers this afternoon, get them on the way, and then when they get here, we'll never mention them again, and then we'll be all good to go. So that's all we have time for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week when we get the rest of it back together.